Hello and welcome to the show. Now, when it has come to the Hot Wheels Showdown, high grip cars have been the way to go. The Honda NSX currently rules the leaderboards. This is going to give that a serious challenge. In all honesty, I do expect the 311 to go top of the table. I think this will go quicker than the NSX. I could be wrong. I have been wrong about cars before, but I feel like this is pretty much the perfect candidate in terms of tackling this Hot Wheels course. Now, admittedly, we don't really have any PI to play around with. We'll put it on the mandatory tyres. See, we'll put it on the mandatory tyres, which are the Hot Wheels race compound tyres. That gives us 3 PI to work with, but bear in mind, we have 410 horsepower from standard. It weighs just 2,100 pounds. That is a big power to weight ratio when the likes of the Impreza were already getting sort of 450-ish horsepower. So that is, yeah, big old power to weight ratio. Now, as far as what else to do with the vehicle, I can get 1 stage of rear tyre upgrade. What have we got in terms of handling? Ooh, okay, this is probably where it's going to be essential. Yeah. Race brakes, I think, are going to be very important. I'm amazed I can actually off-road suspension. I was going to say, I'd be amazed if it wasn't on race suspension to begin with. It's a bloody Lotus track car. We will go for the anti-roll bars, and that gives us, yeah, literally 1 PI left to play with. I'm guessing we'll go race diff. Will we need a... Ooh, okay, that gives us an extra PI to play with. I like that. Yep, we'll do that. We'll have a look, see if we can get power. I very highly doubt it. I suspect these are going to jump the PI up way too quickly. Yep. Bloody typical. Maybe something like valves, possibly. There we go, 6 horsepower. Might not be a bad way to go, actually. Yeah, just a little bit more power, a little bit more torque. I didn't realise this car was supercharged. That's cool. So we've got a supercharged Lotus. That's, yeah, this is going to be quick. Ooh, and we can sneak a flywheel upgrade on as well. Can we sneak a driveline upgrade just in case? We can as well. So a little bit more weight, a little bit more power got out of the vehicle. As far as aero bits go, we have already got basically all of the bits that can be put on the car. I assume tunable aero. The rear wing option is literally just to take it away, which actually kind of looks a little bit odd on this car, not having a rear wing. I quite like the look of the 311, I will be honest. I think it's a good looking track car. It's slightly different to perhaps certainly the 211. I think it's a little bit a little bit different, but I like it. I definitely think this is going to be a very quick driving car. So there we go. Our vehicle is ready to go. I'm thinking about tyre widths and so on. Didn't have the PI really to upgrade them. It's 235 at the front. I think it's 265 at the back. They're not massive, but got to bear in mind what car this is on. I think that's going to give us more than enough grip. So, the task that lies before the Lotus, if it wants to go to the top of the table, a 134.7. That is what we must be to have 5 laps to achieve that around the skyscraper takeoff circuit. I definitely think it is doable. I think the 311 will be giving that NSX a good scare. It's likely to struggle in terms of top speed. There is no doubt about that. It's not going to be as quick. It's certainly not going to be quick as the likes of the Twin Mill and so on, or the Civic for that matter, but around the corners is where the 311 will excel, and you would hope so, certainly, being a Lotus. That's a little bit more oversteer, though, than I was quite prepared for through the first corner. Can we be flat out up here, or add a little bit of a lift? There's a bit of oversteer as well going on from the car. Now, admittedly, it is on cold tyres, having just set off, so that perhaps won't be helping matters. Oh, big oversteer moment. Big slides. Okay, I was not quite expecting that one. Perhaps the rear tyre width would have been a better idea. Seeing as we only had a tiny amount of PI to play with, I figured this car would have enough grip to get away without it. But there are some more oversteering moments that I would have liked from it, and then we'd seen from the likes of the 911 and the NSX. And I will be, keep comparing this car to them, because they were the real handling cars that have gone here, and the real fast handling cars. Yeah, we're struggling a little bit with rear end grip. That could be a problem. Well, a couple of laps the tyres will warm up, and then maybe we will be better off. this is where we are likely to struggle with that poor Lotus. Just the lack of any real top speed, about 202 miles an hour. It's okay being fired off of the boost pads at that speed. It's the climb up the hill and then down this way where we just lack power. 186. We actually hit like an aero limited 186. We can't be propelling the car forward. My God, the brakes are good though. The brakes are outstanding. It's only a 40.7. Now, it wasn't a perfect clean opening lap, but I would have hoped for more. If this is going to be challenging that NSX, I would have hoped for a little bit more in terms of speed. Is it going to slide about? It was better that time around. Okay, let's keep the car. Can we keep it nailed all the way up to 3? Oh! No, sorry, that's turn 4, I think. We probably want a 4th gear across this section. Oh, don't turn it too soon. Right, okay, we have got a little bit more grip this time around, which is nice. We are kind of sitting 4th. It's right at the top of the rev range, but we change up to 5th, and there'll be nothing for the car to give around there, because we kind of we're shrugging off speed because, you know, there's so much friction as we're taking that corner flat out. Yeah, 4th gear, definitely the way to go through that section. Okay, a little bit sloppy, a little bit bouncy off the wall. Can we get away with running flat through here? I doubt it, actually. I doubt it if the NSX and Porsche couldn't. This doesn't seem to have more grip than that, although it was a bit closer. Yeah, definitely the grip has come up slightly on this second lap. Sticking into 6th as we hit the boost pads. Oh, careful. Now, again, 200 miles an hour. A bit slower that time around. I think I may have had to have a small correction, wiggled the steering. It loses so much speed. It just can't accelerate itself up the hill there. Yeah, 186. In fact, we actually lose a little bit of speed. That is really the aero limit of the car. It's allowing us is 186. We have got into the 35s. A 1:35.7, but we need a second. Where are we going to find a second in the 311? Well, bravery with the corners, not brushing any of the walls will also help a little bit. I was hoping we were going to be a little bit closer in terms of the lap time there. Oh, that's not the grip quite there. There is not quite enough through that corner to get away with it. Right, if we turn it a little bit later, we are still fine through there. And through this next long corner, do we want 4th? I don't know. I mean, 5th wasn't feeling too bad either through there. 4th might get us out of the corner a little quicker. How late dare I go on the brakes into the crossover? Well, very late is the answer. Very, very late indeed. Through there, a little bit of a wiggle on the exit, surprisingly. I deliberately didn't put it into 2nd to try and avoid upsetting the car, unsettling the balance and getting oversteer, but apparently it didn't matter. We are going to have a little bit of a lift through here. It's definitely a 4th gear corner, through there. We're really struggling. Oh, I've messed up my gears there. Whoa there. Lotus going to go for a fly. No, it's going to go for a bounce and a wobble and not quite fall off the course. Yeah, that was didn't quite change up in time. You don't want to change up to 6th until you absolutely hit the boost pad, because you change up before, you lose a little bit of acceleration, and in this car I'm needing every single bit of acceleration that I can get. So you've got to try and time it right, and I was just a little bit too late. We've got a couple of laps though. We've got a couple of laps. Don't worry about the loss of the rear wing. Doesn't matter. We are already on sort of visual damage, so it has no impact on the vehicle's performance. Okay, 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go. We are on maximum attack. Maximum bravery is required because it is a substantial amount of time needed over a lap that really wasn't too terrible. So, yeah, fingers crossed, can get everything right with the Lotus. I think that that's horrible. I don't like that. It is quick up there. Do not get me wrong. It is fast going up that first corner. However, it is not very nice to drive. I wonder if 5th gear, while we might not quite have the drive, maybe we will gain more time. I think we lost a lot of time, I think, through the mid-turn there. We'll gain a little bit more time from the slight added stability. Less likely to have the car burst into wheel spin. Through the crossover section we go. Very neat that time around. Difficult trying to get the braking right in a car with this good of brakes, because there is so little in the way of... I've talked about this briefly before, but there is so little in the way of braking reference points through that corner. Trying to get it right in a car like this, where you're not having to brake so early, is difficult, because the earlier braking I can measure based on where the track surface is changing colour. But when you're braking as late as you do in this car, that's not something that we can do. Come on, Lotus, get some speed. Get some speed. It's the same story actually into this final corner as well, because we'd normally be braking by those flags, but we don't have to. We are able to get away with a much later. It was a little bit of a small lock-up there. It's only a 36.1. What's going on with the speed? Where is the speed gone in this car? Is it all just because we are so... it's just not fast enough. Is it the straight line speed that's the problem here? The rest of that lap felt very quick. The rest of that lap felt very quick, so I don't know. I am surprised by this. I'm very surprised by this. It's a big oversteery slide up the hill there. That won't have helped any lap time at all. That's quite unfortunate for the poor Lotus. We do not have the rear end grip, and neither do we have the top end speed. I say we don't have the rear end grip. It is pretty much flat out through these corners. That's not what I was expecting. I mean, we braked so late in the car, but we just can't get up to a high enough top speed. And it's not just the top speed, I think, that's the issue. Perhaps it's, we get up to 60 miles an hour quickly because the car is so light, but we are struggling to get to sort of higher speeds, like 120 and so on, that we do out of these corners. We just can't match the pace of the likes of the NSX. I wasn't expecting that. I wonder if there is almost too much downforce on this car. Too much drag is causing potential problems as we hit the boost pad up towards the loop for the final time. I doubt we're going to be going any quicker on this particular lap due to the big slides through some of the first corners. Late as we dare on the brakes, it will get slowed down. I'll try a second gear on the exit. No, it was a terrible lap. It's a 36.7. Well, it was a 35.7 as our quickest lap. It was slightly dirty. I think I clipped bounced off the inside wall on one of the corners to dirty it, but that would have only slowed us down by a fraction. But the 36.1 felt like a good lap. Perhaps a little early on the brakes into that final corner, but yeah, it was not really challenging the very top of the table like I expected. That is a surprise. That is a surprise for the Lotus 311. It is going to go into a 5th place. It doesn't even beat the Alfa Romeo 4C, nor the Porsche 911, or the front-wheel drive Civic Type R. We are a second down on the Honda NSX. We do, though, beat the Subaru Impreza, the Twin Mill, the Jaguar XES, the Challenger Hellcat, sorry. Yeah, not the result at all that I expected. I think a lack of any top-end speed really hampered the Lotus, and a little bit of a lack in rear-end grip was, perhaps not quite working out. I am surprised by the not by the overall top speed lack, but elsewhere around the course I was expecting this car being, good power to weight ratio, certainly compared to some of the other cars. I was hoping that it would be able to accelerate fast enough, but it can't do it. It can't do it. And even when I got the lap, even a couple of laps when I got it right and we were flat out through a lot of the corners, it still just wasn't fast enough. Well, that is a, little bit of an upset, but there you go. That can happen. That can happen with these build series. That's going to be it from me, though. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.